Hello. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the incarnating experience. The experience as an incarnating person versus, the soul. Because I do feel, there obviously is a separation. And I just wanted to talk a little bit from our side because when I first started this YouTube channel, I kind of was speaking a lot about how there needs to be a revolution in the spiritual realm, I guess in the astral realm, in terms of how we as incarnating beings are advocated for and how we are protected and our legacies and all things around that. Because, oh my God, these dragonflies, they're just so massive. It's a little bit scary. But anyways, so I was thinking about okay, because they're just so big. I can't even. I'm not really like a bug person when it's like that big. But I can't walk around because I hurt my feet. I wore shoes that were uncomfortable. I wasn't thinking. I was thinking about the fashion, and I knew as soon as I kind of got outside that these shoes were not the right choice. Oh my God. Oh, it's so big. But I didn't change my mind because, oh my God, I can't. I think I have to go. Anyways, maybe I'll just ugh. It's just so big. It's so big, you guys don't understand. Anyways, I'm gonna go because it's just it's giving me anxiety and I don't want to be stressed out. What was I saying? Oh, right, so the incarnating experience. Hold on. Oof. Sorry, hold on. Give me a minute. Ay. Y'all are annoying. Look at what you're making me do. Look what you made me do. These shoes. They're so cute, but so uncomfortable. I'm literally dreading having to go back home just because I'm dreading the walk because of these shoes. But anyways, so yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about the incarnating experience. And basically, okay, so I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about your soul's purpose and all that, and I was thinking about spirit guides and blah blah blah. And we have spirit guides in the spirit realm that guard and guide our soul, right? But we don't have, or at least, maybe a life coach would be considered the same as a spirit guide, but for incarnating beings. And I was just thinking about how a purpose is fulfilled and what it means to even fulfill a purpose and create your purpose and know your purpose and all that good stuff. And I was thinking a little bit about the fact that I've been seeing the devil a lot, and not in real life, but I've been seeing the devil card a lot in the tarot, along with, well, I haven't actually been seeing the King of Wands. Actually, I kind of have. Ow. The grass is prickly, and so sometimes it hurts to walk on it, but in some places it's really nice and fluffy, so it's confusing. But anyways, yeah, I've been seeing the devil card a lot, and just also a lot of magic energy, creative energy. And I was thinking about the fact that the devil and the King of Wands and the Wands suit and the ego are all the same, and it's the same with the incarnating experience. Oh, I love this area. This is where I first discovered that I love this park. Anyways, yeah, they're all the same. And I say that because they are all manifestation energy, creative energy, orgasmic energy, creation energy. It's energy of incarnation. It's energy of Mama Earth. It's energy of being. It's complicated energy that can be easily exploited when you think about sexual exploitation, things like that. When you think about manifestation and how that can be exploited. I mean, think about white people. A lot of people call white people the devil because of their history here on Earth and what they've done as a collective to other groups of beings and just life on Earth in general. But white people are also really great manifestors and really great creators of nothing, That's why it was called Manifest Destiny, expanding across the United States and calling it the United States, even though it was already a land that had been established by a group of people, different indigenous people, and now we group them all as one, even though they're not really, they're connected because they kind of have the same heritage, but really they're all different groups of people that are now just called indigenous people of America, because of colonization. But yeah, so you can see the different, it's a spectrum in which, creative energy exists and manifestation energy exists, but it's very much so connected to the incarnating experience, and what, incarnation makes out of the spiritual. So I was thinking about that, and just thinking about the way that we exist as incarnating beings, because I feel like, I know that we get a lot of flack, and it's always about, returning to the soul, uplifting the soul, getting back to your soul, and living from your soul base. But I feel like, I don't know, there's something I'm trying to get to. I'm writing this musical, and I'm realizing that the more that I've taken a break from writing it like script-wise, but I got the general idea down like 2 years ago. And since I've started, and then it was like a year of me not really getting to work on it, but I worked on the songs a lot. And then a year ago, I started this spiritual awakening. And ever since, I've been finding ways that this musical is just like, I don't know how to explain it, but it feels like it's connected to, not just to my personal purpose, but like a lot of what can be understood about the universe and the way that we exist, especially the split between the soul and the incarnating person. And there's a lot around like ancestral energy. And I've noticed that I've began to talk about the ancestors a lot more. And when I think about, and I've spoken a little bit about, their place in the spiritual realm and how protected they are and what their legacies are and what it means to be an ancestor, what it means to have access to life, to aliveness, to consciousness, and also death. And just how are the ancestors operating, and also in terms of healing. So yeah, but anyways, I was thinking about, because we give a lot of credit to the soul for basically everything good, when it comes to the incarnating experience. And it's always this journey back to the soul. And I've been speaking a lot about how there's many souls, but I guess the soul that we talk about is the spiritual, the quintessential, classic, well-known spiritual soul that we all identify. Though there's many souls. There's the body soul, there is the incarnating soul, then there's like the soul. We don't have another name for it, so I can't describe it in the way that I would like to. But I am somebody who feels that we have many souls. And so I'm just thinking about the incarnating being and what is erased, what's being erased. Because, like I said, the spiritual realm has a lot of accountability in my perspective to take on that has not been taken on. There's a lot of conversations that need to be had between incarnating beings ancestors and God, spirit, the universe, other spiritual beings, souls, just in terms of what happens down here and what happens afterwards and what we remember and what we have the rights to, in terms of a legacy. The idea that you are reborn and reborn and reborn, and what's the constant is the soul, really prioritizes the soul as, the most important. Yet you think about it, and the more that I think about it, and that this is not to say that this is a new idea at all, the more that I learn, I guess, the more that I remember, the more I think about the fact that, your ancestors make up who you are now, which means it's other incarnating beings, just coming to life again, but in a different form, in a death state, to give life to you again and again. And yet we give this glory to the soul. And maybe that's why this era on earth is all about self-love, and loving the soul will ultimately bring us back to loving ourselves, loving our ancestors, loving being the incarnating experience, and appreciating it and seeing it for what it is, which is everything. We say constantly that none of this matters, that none of this is important, that, at the end of the day, you die and then you just, whimsically float back into the atmosphere. But it's almost like the only thing that is immortal is the incarnating experience. And what is constantly reborn is this remembrance of the soul, of the spiritual, of all these things. But the constant is this physical. And obviously, physical is a fluctuating term in terms of the spiritual reality. What you consider to be physical is, how it's defined really changes given the context, which is also really cool. And I've spoken about that in a few different videos, but I've been saying, this is the era of self-love for Earth, and on a very deep level. And this is also the era of the ancestors. And this is also the era of the physical becoming spiritual, or the spiritual becoming physical. Like the burning bush, that shit starting to happen again, shit like from the days of the Bible, where those were the spiritual signs you were seeing, like having an angel pop out of a bush, that type of spirituality becoming grounded in the physical again. And there's all of this prioritization of the physical, which is, you could also consider the incarnating. And I feel like it is a movement towards recognizing and remembering the value of the incarnating experience and the incarnating being, and not dismissing everything, not dismissing everything, not dismissing the ego, and recognizing the power and the purpose, and recognizing the soul within that. And the I guess the many souls that exist. I don't know, but obviously everything blends into one at the end of the day. But that oneness is the spiritual, right? But all of these physical things are independent incarnations, independent spirits, independent beings that come together to manifest and create. And there's a lot of power in that. And there's a need to, I feel like, just recognize our power. And I think that I'm so stuck on this because I'm really itching for something big to happen that opens a door or a gateway to speak more openly to the astral realm, spirit realm, and begin to have a conversation from this position. What scares me is the idea of only getting to go back to the spirit realm and really be in a position of power once I'm dead. Because then it's like, I'm just an ancestor now, which kind of feels like a throwaway, because that's how ancestry is treated in terms of the spiritual experience, or at least that's what I feel and see right now, based on where I am right now in my spiritual journey. And so I want, within this lifetime, to get to a point where we are very, very openly, very directly, very clearly speaking to the spirit realm, almost like as a coalition, or like like, it's very justice energy, you know, having representatives or having people as, you know, a movement go towards the spirit realm and speak openly about what we want for ourselves as incarnating beings. And this is not just for us, because this is going to be for our descendants as well. But, you know, I recognize that my life is short in the grand scheme of things, and I am somebody who is here on this earth right now in the ages of 2000 until whenever I die. And then, you know, that's the end of Zanala. My soul will go on and have other experiences and be other people, but Zanala, you know, this is it for her. And speaking from that position rather than from my soul, you know, from my soul, I'm not okay with my being just being used to further, you know, a greater cause, which I don't get any say in or under any information about, or clear direct communication around, you know. And the idea that we have to earn communication also feels weird, because it's like, but we're the ones down here doing the work, you know, so why aren't you guys speaking to us clearly? It's kind of like what Elon Musk wants to do, going to Mars and just sending a bunch of people, like Amazon, just exploiting a bunch of people, sending them off to do the dirty work, and like not giving them really any positions of power, but basically having them start a whole new society on a whole new fucking planet. You know, that's a lot that you're asking of, and that's what incarnating beings do and have done for like eons, here on Earth and other places. And it's just like, why aren't we getting direct, clear communication in a way that is unquestionable? You know, I shouldn't have to ask for the instructions to be made more clear and then be told that in order to do that, I need to do this, and that work that actually isn't connected to me, but connected to a past life that I still don't get to know clearly about. It's just kind of like, wait, this is a lot, you know? And I understand that if it's a lot, then you have to decide to wake up so that you can change things. But okay, I'm awake now, right? So I'm saying I would like to have a conversation more clearly from this incarnating experience right now. I don't want to wait until I'm dead so that I can go back up there and be like, hey, this is what I've learned and this is what I think. I want these conversations to happen now, so that I, as an incarnating being, get to advocate for myself alive in the incarnating experience, you know? I think it's an injustice to steal that opportunity from incarnating people, or to tell them to wait, you know? I just don't think it's very fair. And I know that we have this whole life isn't fair thing, but that's fine. We do have the power to change things, though. So I think we just shouldn't be so afraid to speak up for ourselves, I guess is what I'm saying. You know, there are different levels of energy, but all of those energies exist within us. And we can't be afraid of the spirit realm, because we are the spirit realm, right? Like, and they need us just as much as we need them. And we've done a lot of work in terms of furthering the spiritual experience and digging into what this all means, and really expanding and healing, and just creating all of these incredible gifts that allow us to understand the value of being. And I think that we have more than earned the right to have a discussion around what's working and what's not working, you know. And I'm not sure how many times that this type of, you know, big overhaul discussion has happened in terms of changing the foundation of experiences in the spiritual, but it's time, you know, it's time. So that's something that's been on my mind. And when I was thinking about the spiritual, your purpose, I was thinking about how it's really the incarnating being that defines the purpose. And for souls, the purpose is to live, right? That's like the purpose that souls have. And then you really are the crafter of your own experience, which is why, and like astrology and all of these things can help guide you towards it, but there's no one who can tell you what your purpose is, because you really do create it. And that's part of the ego, right? That's part of the magic of the ego. That's part of the magic of devil energy. It's part of the magic of orgasmic energy, all things that are linked so clearly to earth and to being a human being. You create your purpose in the specifics, in the details, right? If you're really looking for someone to tell you what your purpose is, you won't find them. It's literally whatever you want. It's whatever you want it to be. It's just like, as long as you live, you're doing a good job. Seriously. So, yeah. I think that's all I have to say, so I'm gonna go now. Bye.